need. I just think it's
Not
time.
right now.
We'll see. We'll see what it's about when we get
Not
there.
right now. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us again today. My name is Kelly Wright.
And I'm James Ernest, and we're here all week. This week, I'm self-quarantining after my second shot and feeling, okay.
You feeling meh?
I'm feeling
Eh?
meh. I never feel 100%. So when I feel 80%, I feel like that's only 5% less than the 85% that I usually feel. It's not that bad. I am experiencing pain at the injection site, and I had a slight headache last night, and I just had that again. And I don't know. It's too soon to tell if those will be my only symptoms. But I want to feel like crap. I want to fight this thing, and then I want to feel like I'm past it.
Well, um, okay. You could eat some bad shellfish and,
Well, believe me, I've done plenty of that. Like I've experienced onions again for the first time in months, and that was a bad idea. So I don't know how much of this is the shot. The onions were days before, and the symptoms were before the shot. So it might have been
uh,
shot related, onion related anxiety. I don't know. All I know
so
is I want to get out in the world again.
so remind me, with your first shot, did you have any symptoms?
Nah.
Okay, I had no symptoms either with my first shot. And my second shot sounds very similar to the symptoms you're having. So when I got it, it was fine. It was like at about 10:45 in the morning. And about 1 o'clock that afternoon, I started feeling a little weird, started feeling nauseous and getting a headache. So I told my work colleagues that I will be stepping away from my desk for the rest of the afternoon and just rest through it because I wasn't sure if it was going to get worse or anything. So took a long nap, woke up, felt great. Just had minor waves of nausea every now and then, but I have medication that helps with nausea that I had from a previous surgery. So I just took that and that helped a lot.
It's nice when you
So
when you get older and you have just lots of leftover prescriptions just flying around
exactly.
the house.
Exactly. I thought, wow, what do I have? Do I drink ginger ale or something? I was like, oh, no, wait, I have this. And so I took it. I was like, that's so much better. So, and then the next day, a little bit more nausea. And then that was it. That was it. I was done. And so hopefully I'm okay.
Hopefully, we'll
Covered.
all be okay.
Yeah. My husband, Rich, was hit hard. He was down for 3 days,
Ooh.
just sleeping, feverish, chills. It really knocked him for a loop.
Yeah,
So, but even with the first one,
My friend Jeff was coming over the day after his shot, and he texted me that night and said, "I might feel yucky," but he came over. He had a fever, and then it went away, and then, he was good enough to hang out anyway.
oh, good. Good, good, good. Glad to hear it. Well, I'm glad that you are second vaxxed in, and so then you are waiting for that 7 to 10 day period when full immunity kicks in, and then you're just gonna run outside without any clothes on,
Oh,
hugging
yes.
people?
I'm gonna lick everything I can
Good.
see. I'm gonna see everything I can
Good.
lick. My actual plans are that the fully vaccination date is actually 2 full weeks after your second shot, but by then, I will have been in Hawaii for 6 days, and
That's right.
as a precaution, they are requiring me to take yet one more COVID test, which I will do at the airport before I get on my plane. So then the
Oh,
state of Hawaii can check me in, verify that I have a place to stay, verify that I don't have COVID bugs up my nose, and they don't care about my vaccination card because they don't care about those things yet, apparently, and they wouldn't be valid anyway until another week had gone by.
so I have not yet traveled, so I haven't been required to take a pre-boarding COVID test. Have you this will this be your first one?
I've taken 2 COVID tests at the doctor, but never just at the airport. That's a Hawaii special thing. Going to Vegas, or as far as I know, going anywhere in the continental US, they don't have those kinds of barriers.
So I'm assuming that this is a rapid test then, that you have answers, like, right away.
Yes, it's a NAACP test. I forget what it's very close to that. I think it's NAAT. It's quicker, and I don't know if it's better or worse than a PCA test, but it's approved by Hawaii. Like I specifically went to a place that Hawaii's website says, yes, you can use this place. Um,
Oh, okay.
the schedule was totally open. You just have to make an appointment at the airport, go in and get swabbed, and I gave them 2 hours before my flight, so they have plenty of time to email me The results, I don't know how I'm gonna get them. It's all a
Okay,
mystery that
because
we'll
it would
hear all
be
about in 2 weeks.
it'll it'll be really awful, if, let's say, they don't have the results, you get on the plane, you go, and then when you land, you find out, and then, "Oh, bop, bop, have to go home."
Well, no, because if I wind up in the Hawaii airport with nothing but a blank page and sad trombones, then I just have to self-quarantine for 10 days. Like, that's the worst that can happen is I have to sit there.
Okay, so they're alright,
They're not
okay,
gonna
so they're
send me
not sending
home.
you
They're
home
they're gonna send me to my new home, which is an expensive
to your
hotel, and
hotel,
say, "Don't
to your
ever
home.
leave."
Yeah,
And,
got it.
but if the results aren't in my inbox by the time I take off, they're probably gonna be in my inbox by the time I land, and if they're not, then they'll get there the next day, and it's like, and I don't think any of that's a big deal.
No, but either way, you wind up in Hawaii, so win-win.
Right, let's say I'm quarantined in a hotel room with a lanai, and all I can do is order room service and sit outside in the nice weather. Oh, well,
Oh, that sounds
that
horrible.
that's half of what I'm going there to do.
So, I know a couple of shows back, you had said you were looking for property, to invest in or purchase, and you said that the prices were good, but later on, you had emailed me, we talked about it, and you said, "It's a lease thing."
Right.
And
So
so, I wanna
so
ask
as
you
I
about
have
that.
done more property research in Hawaii, first of all, for those who aren't caught up on my lifestyle, I have a condo in Vegas that I like very much. I go there, but it's more fun when Vegas is open. And I have thought about doing the same thing in Hawaii. I'm just investing money that's already in the stock market. It's not like I'm that wealthy, but I'm just moving stuff around. The point being, I would like a place in Hawaii to stay whenever I want and possibly rent out, though whatever. That's also a hassle. The places that I looked at in Las Vegas, it took me a few months to find the place I liked. I love the place I have. And so I want something similar in Hawaii. I looked in November. I went
Okay.
on Zillow and looked at lots of listings and found that what I was looking for was almost certainly going to be findable in my price range. Um, but there was so much inventory and it was turning so fast that I was like, okay, I have to shut down this search because none of this specific stuff will be there. I just know there'll be stuff like this. But what I learned over the spring and more recently, as I get closer and closer to the actual date of travel, is that unlike the place I bought before, unlike most of the country, most of the real estate listings that you are seeing in Hawaii aren't actually buying a property. They're not fee simple, as they now have a term for it because there's also another thing. They are leasehold, which means you're just buying out somebody else's lease on that property, which means you're prepaying up to 80 years of rent, and then when that's done, you're out and you own nothing. It's not really an investment. It's just another way to pay
Okay.
rent. So that's why the place I was looking originally didn't distinguish between those two kinds of property. And sometimes it's sort of hard to tell what's fee simple and what's leasehold, except you'll see prices that are ridiculously low and go, why would they be selling this? Either it's haunted or I'm not actually buying it. So I was wrong in my estimation that the prices there are comparable to elsewhere. If you remove that from the equation and look at only the fee simple properties, yeah, they're pretty expensive. But
Okay.
there are still a few that are affordable. I saw a place last week. It came and went in 5 days, and so I'm still looking too soon. I have to just turn off my computer and look again on the 1st of June, right? But I saw a
Mhm.
place that was clearly like there a lot of them are remodeled hotel rooms. They began their life as hotel rooms and then they became condos of some sort. Some of them are condo hotels, some of them are full on condo apartments. And the one I was looking at was tiny, but it had a huge kitchen. Like easily a third of this place was kitchen. And
Wow.
there was like room for a couch and maybe a bed and then this monster kitchen, and I'm like, that's cool. That's so weird that I would like that actually. I hope no one buys it, but it sold in 5 days and I'm just like, okay, screw it. I'm going to look again on the 1st of June and see if see what's available to me on that very day.
Are you working with a local realtor or
Yeah,
just
I
on your own?
actually I put that off until the 1st of May, and then I sent emails to I think 4 or 5 buyer's agents that I just found through various real estate websites. I just sent up flags to see who would write me back, and none of them wrote me back, but one other guy who had, like, got my name because I was searching on the websites wrote me back, and we exchanged a few emails. he's extremely like intelligent and personable, and like actually is sort of local to Seattle. He knows the very neighborhood that I live in, and um, we talked about what I'm looking for, and then we stopped because we're done because we're going to have a meeting when I get there. And as we both
Right.
know at this point, the good stuff turns so fast, it's just sort of pointless to look.
Right. But at least you've made a connection.
Yeah, and
You have
he knows what I want,
spent
he gets what I need, and he knows I can get it,
got
and
it.
I know that he's
That's
gonna get
perfect.
me the best deal that I can get, so I'm pretty confident with that.
That's perfect. I wish you a huge amount of luck with that. So going to Hawaii is this like a month-long thing for you to search for something, or are you just there for like 10 days, 12 days?
On this trip, I'm going for 5 weeks. I set aside a big block
Oh,
of
okay.
time to park myself there, look at inventory, have a good chance of buying something, and if I get a condo, it's probably gonna be a place where I spend a couple, 3, 4 months every year,
Got it.
like I do in Vegas, just when I need to the sun and the sand. It's weird because in the pre-COVID times, I went to a lot of cons, and my schedule
Mhm.
was one February, I went to 4 conventions in 4 weeks. You know, my schedule was just peppered with travel to random places. And now that that's behind me, and even though the conventions are spinning up, I don't see that being part of my life anymore. And so I'm kind of like, well,
Okay.
I can travel whenever I want, and I can afford to have a place in a couple of nice locations. I think I'll just do that and work from whenever.
That's awesome. That's awesome that you have that opportunity to do it. I know that I would love to have like, like a vacation home and stuff right now, but we're still we still have a young kid who my stepdaughter, Rich's daughter, who is 16, so we want to stay close right now, not an adult moving off somewhere. So, us moving to a farther location is just not doable right now. And as far as for vacation stuff, um, we work so much that we just don't take as many vacations as we should. And the difficulty too is that if we do go on vacation, since now we have 3 dogs, it's either boarding the dogs or trying to find a place that will, say, "Sure, bring 3 dogs." So, that's another level of cost that's involved too. So what we're putting our energy into is we're just now starting to spin up the thought of finding a home that is more retirement friendly as far as, growing older in. What I want, what I physically need now as I'm getting older is a one-level home. We live in a townhome that has stairs all over the place, and the bathrooms that you use are all the way at the top. So when I come home, the age that I am, and I'm getting older, all I know is I have 2 flights of stairs that I've gotta haul stuff up and then, try and make it to the bathroom before I wet my pants. So so
Well, there's
yeah,
all kinds of solutions that are offered to older people, such as chair lifts for your stairwell, or very
correct,
absorbent diapers for everyday
correct.
wear.
Interestingly enough, though, chair lifts would not work in this townhome, too narrow, because even when buying furniture for this place, we have to take into account how narrow the stairs are and can they make the turn of getting a couch in, a bed in. So we can't have a king size bed, won't fit upstairs. It won't make the turn.
Consider
So
a
there you
live-in
go.
weightlifter, someone who could simply carry you
Oh,
up the stairs and perform
oh
other
my.
heavy lifting around the house for room and
You
board.
I guess, I can hire the young men who are with college hunks hauling junk, and if I need it, they can haul my junk upstairs.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you very much, young men.
Will there
So
be
yeah,
anything
we are
else, Mrs.
slowly
Wright?
No, thank you. Thank you, Billy. I really appreciate it. Can you just stand there and look good for me?
I'm
Thanks.
Jason. Billy works
Um,
on the weekends.
oh, thanks, Jason. So yeah, we are slowly spinning up the conversation of looking at property. And so what I've done is signed up for a few things and I get notifications. And just like Hawaii, things turn super fast
Yeah.
around here. And the bidding wars out here are stupid crazy, where homes are going for what is it? The median average home cost here in the Seattle area is something like $870,000,
Mhm.
850,000. That's median. And these homes are going for 100 to $150,000 above what they're asking.
Yep.
So, and they're
Yeah,
they're gone
the
in 2
I think
days.
that home buyers and sellers are both sort of creeping out of the woodwork right now because the
Yeah.
pandemic is finally skimming off a little bit, and and the market's about to get a little wacky, wacky, and then I don't know what's going to happen after that. So it's terrifying to think about these properties as investments. They could go completely south in a year, or they could
Sure.
skyrocket, and then I would feel bad for not buying one. The amount that I'm investing in this postage stamp with only a kitchen in it is not actually enough to worry about. It's nothing like 800,000. It's more like two, but um, but it's still like, yeah, I'm gonna have to fight tooth and nail for something that's actually good because
Yeah.
it's gonna probably get sold 5 minutes after it lists.
Sure, of course, and that's been the amazing that's what has amazed me most is that as I'm going through these listings and it's like, "It's been on the market for 4 hours," and then the next day it's sold, it's like, "Wow, that's insane." So, it's, if you folks out there listening are in the battle to find a new home, it's tough. It's really tough, and the reality of it is we are priced out of the area we currently live in right
Hmm.
now. So we can't live in this area. We can't buy in this area because we just as a combined income with the both of us, we still don't make enough to qualify for a jumbo loan. So we've got to move we're looking at an hour north. Easy. Easy just to find something that's affordable. So I don't know how people do it. I want to knock on some of these mega mansion doors and go, "What do you do? Is this all software? Is it all lawyer? Is it all doctor? What do you
It's
do?"
it's a lot of
So
legitimate businesses. I take care of things for people. I do things for people, things people need.
apparently Uncle Tony owns a
Uncle
lot of
Tony's all
property in
owns
the
all this
area.
property. I'm fighting with Uncle Tony for these Hawaii joints too, because I think banks are getting in on the action right now and just picking up property because they know it's going to
Just
keep
picking
going
up
north.
property.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm bidding
absolutely.
against machines.
Oh,
Now, but
well, I guess
however, I love getting
yes,
a place. I love decorating a place. I love the problems. I love the strategy of dealing with a postage stamp that's half kitchen. Like this is the fun part of the thing. And of course, the goal is to wake up every morning and walk down to the beach. That I can
of
achieve
course.
from anywhere. If I can sleep and make
Yes,
eggs, then I have a place I can stay. And I
I
could
love
come
that.
back from this plan with nothing in hand and say, all right, if I want to do Hawaii, I'll do it the hotel way instead, or
Mhm.
maybe the timeshare way, although I strongly doubt that. Um, but I'm at least going to look to see if the condo way is the right way to go.
Well, I wish you luck in your little postage stamp condo dreams, because I too enjoy the hunt of trying to find a new place and then the whole decorating just to make it your own. I love that. I totally love that. So I wish you a huge amount of luck and grace, and I think you'll do it because I know you're a determined fellow.
We are going to hear all about it in the days and weeks to come.
Excellent. Let's take a break. This episode of Here All Week is brought to you by She Kills, a new training program from Class Action University.
Are you frustrated by the lack of gender balance in traditionally male dominated professions?
As a woman, do you wish you could have the same opportunities as a man in all walks of life?
I certainly do.
So do I. If you're like millions of other women, you're dismayed that men account for more than 80% of the world's mass murderers and serial killers.
And that's not all. Among top ranked serial killers, men continually achieve, and that's
Tada.
not all. And that's not all. Among top ranked serial killers, men continually achieve more body counts, longer careers, and stiffer prison sentences than their female counterparts.
That means if you're serial killed or mass murdered today, more than 9 times out of 10, the job will be done by a man.
The men of the serial killer industry are a tight knit cadre of old boys, tightly enforcing a glass floor at the lowest echelons of humankind that can be hard or even impossible for a woman to break through.
But that is all about to change with She Kills.
At She Kills, we're leveling the killing field. Our new Ma Cherie Du More program is bringing gender balance back to one of mankind's oldest and most despicable professions.
At She Kills, you'll learn how to become a bloodthirsty killer without losing your feminine side.
Choose from exciting and informative courses from Feminine Violence 101 to Looks That Literally Kill to Knives They're Not Just for the Kitchen.
She Kills is the first all female learning center for aspiring criminals of all kinds, from pickpockets to grifters, street hoods to button men.
I think you mean button women.
I think I do.
As a student in our Dial Femme for Murder program, women can learn how to focus on singular objectives, think of others as subhuman, and hide from the prying eyes of the law.
You'll learn critical skills like single minded determination, the endless drive to excel, and not caring about other people at all.
These skills can be valuable in any male dominated profession, from pipe fitter to professional gambler to Fortune 500 CEO.
What's more, we'll provide you with the tools and connections that could make you one of the most efficient and feared serial killers of all time.
Today's crime sprees aren't about having raw physical strength or attractive facial hair. The modern mass murderer is an efficient killer, focused, driven, and she always begins with the end in mind. In short, she knows the 7 habits of successful murderers.
Imagine a new you, powering through your workday without a scrap of concern for the pain and suffering of others.
I can't wait.
Join the ranks of the world's worst criminals today with help from the antisocial mentors at She Kills.
Where death becomes you.
She Kills is a trademark of Class Action University. Be part of something more profitable than yourself. Becoming a violent criminal is a decision that every woman must make for herself in consultation with her mental health professional and the voices in her head. Dial 800 FEM for murder and speak to your antisocial mentor today.
The voices know best.
They also do steaks.
I looked up the 7 habits
My
of highly effective
highly
people.
successful?
Do you know what
Yeah.
the seventh one is?
No, I
Sharpening the
don't.
saw.
Are you kidding?
That is
What is
literally
that?
the seventh habit of highly successful people, sharpening the saw. And I was like,
What?
I can't
What in
even
the
put this
world?
in here. It's too on the nose.
Did you read what that habit is?
I'm
Or
sorry,
no?
what?
Did you read what the habit is for
No,
sharpening the
I
saw?
didn't
What
read the
is that
details.
habit?
I
Okay.
saw the name and I
Okay.
just moved on. I was like, all right, this is for later. I'll set this aside.
Got it. Interesting. So James, now that, the world is becoming more vaccinated and travel is starting to open up, I wanted to let you know, in case you were interested, that the World Toe Wrestling Federation has announced that the 2021 championship matches will go ahead in August in Derbyshire, England.
Well, that's a relief because I didn't know what else to do with my August.
Okay. Well, good for you, because toe wrestling, the Northern Echo reported, takes place sitting down and barefoot with the competitor's toes linked. But as according to them, the matches are no tiptoe through the tulips. um, Ben Total Destruction Woodruff, who is ranked second in the world and had his toenails surgically removed to give him a competitive edge, had his ankle snapped in 2 places by 16-time championship Alan Nasty Nash during a practice session.
It's great that something I've never heard of is coming back. I can't wait to participate
Wow.
in my own home tournaments.
So according to, Ben Woodruff, he says, "It's a people sport. There are no levels or qualifiers. Anyone can join.
Anyone can play.
It's a
That's
people."
right. That's a hallmark of a nascent sport. So do they link toes like this and like wrist wrestling, like pushing like this?
Well, apparently, yes. So take place sitting down. So I'm imagining take place sitting down and
Feet to
barefoot with
feet,
the
right?
competitor's
And then
toes
you do one of
linked.
these,
Right, and then you link your toes. So, yeah, like you're grabbing it, and then you
and
back
then
and
you
forth.
break
So
the other
someone's
guy's ankles.
right. So that guy was so strong. But yes, Ben Total Destruction Woodruff had his toenails surgically removed to give him a more competitive edge. Wow, that's dedication to a sport. Wow.
Oh, speaking of dedication
I
to
don't
a sport, I watched a TV
yeah,
this week. Have you ever seen Free
a
Solo?
TV or the TV? You watched a
A
TV.
program on the telly.
Okay, thank you.
Have you ever
I
seen
watched a TV.
Have you ever seen the movie Free Solo? It's a documentary about the first and I guess
Yes.
only person to climb El Capitan without any ropes. It's
Yeah,
3,000
this
feet high. It took him 4 hours to do it. It actually took him, like, several years and then 4
t
hours to
yes,
do it.
but
Um,
talk about a tension-filled movie, suspenseful. I mean, this guy was completely focused and dedicated to do this, but man, I my
I
heart was
think
in
you
my
know
throat.
he's gonna make it, and I think they even show him afterwards at the beginning of the movie so that you're not, like, as freaked out as every cameraman who actually worked on that documentary was. But there's people on the ground watching him summit this thing, and they can't watch. They have to look away. They're like, "Just tell me when he's out of
Yeah,
frame."
right. Yeah, it's really interesting, and if, you're willing to, sit there and, be nervous through a film, this is a film for you because it's pretty intense as far as to watch him up there doing it. Yeah, I was nervous for him the whole time, so
I'm amazed. I guess every hobby has its most detailed practitioners, and how every inch of this 3,000 feet has a name, and there are different like theories about how to go up it, and they
Mhm.
they asked him, I guess some interviewer said, "Which route are you going to take?" And he's like, "The easy one." Okay. But the easy one is
Yeah, it's
full of
really
the
good.
most impossible stuff, and the documentary shows him, like, very meticulously learning and practicing and deciding where every inch of his body goes through parts of this. But he gets
Mhm.
through those, and then he goes through another whole section that looks just as hard that you've never seen before, and that's the most terrifying part of the movie. It's like, "I know you practice these too, but, I hope you don't fall."
Yeah, I hope you know what you're doing, mister, please, because I don't. So, going back to a couple shows, that you mentioned, you and Nora were watching a movie called Tenet, which
Right.
is a kind of a time travel movie. Rich and I started watching it a couple of nights ago. It's one of these films. It's good, and like you said, it's poorly mixed music and audio, poorly mixed, so make sure you have the subtitles on. So, I started watching it, but I was too tired to really grok what was going on, and I looked at Rich and I said, can we watch this another time when I'm awake? 'Cause you really need full attention on this to really kind of follow it through.
This is the
So, we
kind of movie
watched the
that
rest of it.
requires an internet playthrough to help you, like, understand it all.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I still don't understand it. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again. But for those who enjoy the time travel genre and, evil henchmen and, the, uh, destruction and people trying to, fight good and evil, this is the movie for you. So,
I think
it's
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 was more than
fascinating.
that for me though, because irrespective of the, non-linearity of the plot and the time travel mechanics that of course are not possible, so they can't possibly be correct. There's just a certain tightness to a lot of the scenes that they
Yeah,
don't ever say something twice, and sometimes they don't even say it once, and they just trust the audience to figure it out. And that's
right.
a fun kind of movie to watch, especially in the action genre where usually they are beating you over the head with every important plot point. In this one,
Mhm.
if you have to be kind of on the edge of your seat paying attention, and and yes, with the subtitles on, or screw you, you're left behind, watch it again.
Yeah. Yeah, there were several scenes in the movie that said out loud, "Oh my god, that was him!" So
Right.
so yeah, it's kind of fascinating because you just don't Rich is really good at knowing what's coming up in movies. He's just really good at reading into scripts and things like this. He couldn't do it in this one. So
No.
that means that's a good script. He couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
No, I think
James.
there's so much language in modern action movies that telegraphs so much of what is to come, in part because if it doesn't, people get lost. That we can all
Yeah,
pride ourselves on saying what's gonna happen next, but we were just told like 6 times. It's not really that hard.
right.
But yeah,
It's not
Tenet
really
does
that
not
hard
do
to do.
that for you at all. You Tenet knows that you will watch it again. Tenet knows that it's the
Yes.
modern age, and if you care about this, you're gonna just enjoy a roller coaster ride your first time through, and then you're gonna go back and say, "All right, what?" And hopefully it
Yeah.
doesn't disappoint on second viewing.
No, it was thoroughly enjoyable. So Tenant is the name of the film if you're interested. And, here's another little interesting factoid. You're familiar with the border between Belgium and France. I'm
I won't say
personally
that I've been
familiar with
there
it.
lately, but I know that there is one.
But, the border dates back to 1819, and a Belgian farmer who became annoyed that a stone marking for it was placed right where he needed to drive his tractor, he moved the stone about 7.5 feet into French territory, so then made France a little bigger, or Belgium a little
Made
bigger.
Belgium a little
Yeah,
bigger, yeah. Yeah, well, I
made
mean, if that
Belgium a little
stone
bigger,
has the
yeah.
magic and can rule over satellite imagery, then I guess he made France smaller, but I don't think that really happened. But I know he can drive his tractor now, that's good.
He can drive his tractor, he's much happier that way, so Belgium got a little bit bigger in our lifetime. Aren't you happy about that?
Well,
About
that's
7,
good,
seven
that's
and a half
good, but
maybe.
it's a zero-sum game on the border there because France got smaller by the exact same amount. Meanwhile, all the coastal nations are
Meanwhile,
getting slightly smaller all the time. Yay!
all the time, yay! And, from the Crime Never Pays If You're Not Smart Enough, a guy by the name of Kevin Johnson, he was arrested in Maricopa. By the way, these stories are coming from News of the Weird. Um, Kevin Johnson was arrested in Maricopa County, Arizona, after He left behind a bit of evidence when he slashed two of his neighbor's tires. Uh, a woman by the name of Francesca Wickoff found her flat tires along with a severed finger lying in the driveway, and police said a trail of blood led to a nearby home. So there you go.
His own severed finger?
His own severed
Like,
finger.
he was so
Johnson
bad
had
at
alleged
slashing tires that he slashed his finger off and was just like,
cut his
"Oh,
own finger.
that coulda gone better," and then just walked home?
I'm gonna go home. Yeah, the night before, Johnson had allegedly become drunk and belligerent at a neighborhood get-together where he shoved and threatened Wickoff and her husband before being asked to leave, and then he slashed her tires and cut his own finger off. So, whap, whap.
Alcohol, the cause and solution to all of life's problems.
So, James, what's gonna happen with you? Are you packing? What do you pack when you go away for 5 weeks? I'm curious. What do you
Well,
do?
mostly podcasting equipment. I have that
Oh,
little I have that little Blue Yeti microphone, that's gonna take up some space. For a trip to Hawaii, it's like this. It's like Hawaiian shirts and shorts and sandals and things that don't take up a lot of space. I am packing what am I packing to go to Hawaii? I haven't done it yet. I don't think it's gonna be very much. Uh, it's mostly the computer equipment, the laptop and the iPad and the Switch, the game system,
okay.
which I
Mhm.
need on a daily basis. I'm not actually playing Animal Crossing every day because for the last 2 days, I've been unable to exercise, and so I ride the bike, right? And I play
Mhm.
Animal Crossing, and when I the days I don't ride the bike, then Animal Crossing is like a job, and then I kinda don't wanna do it anymore because I'm not doing much in that game right now. Right now, my basement room that has my stationary bike in it is also set up for video. I just yesterday recorded a lecture about graphic design for
Oh.
prototyping specifically, and the way the cameras have to be set up is they're athwart the bicycle, so the wheels the pedals won't turn. So until I can take
Oh.
down those cameras, until I verify the footage that I don't have to do any reshoots, I can't ride the bike, which means I can't play my video game. So I don't play it every day, but I don't think I can get away from it for a whole month. So the Switch is coming along. And aside from that, like kind of maybe some empty space and I'm either coming home with none of it because I'm going to buy a condo and move into it, or I'm coming
Mhm.
home with all of it and all the crap I buy in 5 weeks, which is going to probably be a lot of crap. So yeah, empty space is one of the things I'm taking with me.
What's one of the food items that you miss terribly from Hawaii that you're looking forward to?
Oh, they are one of the last places where McDonald's has fried apple pies instead of the baked apple
Oh,
pies that we find everywhere else, and, McDonald's also serves a papaya or mango or some other kind of fried pie. McDonald's serves Spam and rice as a breakfast dish. This is
okay.
not everything I miss about Hawaii, but it is the first food item that came to mind.
I find it
Mostly
fascinating you said McDonald. It's
Mostly the
fascinating.
food stuff in Hawaii is imported. There is some fresh stuff, but most of it actually comes from the mainland and is therefore not as fresh and not as cheap as you would find it even here in Washington. Of
Oh,
course, there are
okay.
some great restaurants. I don't know if they're still open or will be open while I'm there, but no, there's not any specific food item other than the fried apple pie that comes to mind.
I find that fascinating because I since I've never been to Hawaii, I didn't know if there was, like, amazing beachside seafood or, as far as some of the fruits that grow on the island or, coffee or
Well, absolutely. Waikiki is a tourist destination full of high-rise hotels and expensive restaurants, and I could name the places I like to eat, but they're all over the place. Shaved
okay.
ice is a thing, that is, popular in Hawaii, and my daughter
Mhm.
certainly loves it, but there are places where it's just regular shaved ice like you expect at the Ren Fair, and then there's other places where it's so finely shaved that it's like snow, and that's how it's supposed to be. It's like
Okay.
eating air, and that's really good. So there are a few good places to get shaved ice. There are plenty of places to get steak and seafood and, restaurant food, but I don't my mind's not in that place because I'm already wasting so much money just staying there that, like, going out to eat by myself at good restaurants is off the table. I have a room with a kitchen. I'm gonna be trying to figure out where the grocery stores are, if there are any,
Got it. Got it.
and cooking at home, and so I'll just be eating whatever whatever they let me.
Well, I look forward to I believe the next time I speak with you, you'll be there. I
No,
think.
we have one more show
Um,
in a week. I travel on a week from
okay.
Tuesday.
Okay, great. Well, then I know I get to talk to you before, and then we get to see how excited you really are.
I can tell you what I did pack, and I can tell you what I can buy next week, and whatever else wonderful has happened between now and then. I My next week's plan is mostly to finish up the video work for this channel. If you're listening at home, we do have a video channel now, a YouTube channel where you can see our unedited, rough, and beautiful faces every week. And trying to build a Patreon page for this show, which I have not yet done, but will do soon.
It'll
And
happen. It'll
packing
happen.
for Hawaii, I'm culling and gathering a whole bunch of writing that I can take with me if I can only
Mhm,
find it. And
mhm.
and feeling sick from this injection, which I'm still not sure whether or not I'm done.
Well, I hope you feel better from what you how you feel right now. T you're telling me that your symptoms are they sound pretty mild compared to other people, so hopefully you'll be out of the woods in a couple days.
Yes,
Um,
these woods are
as
barely have barely any trees.
Oh, good. As far as for me that's coming up, the big thing that I've started to pick up again is to be creative, is to try and do one creative thing to make something every day. I have gotten way out of that habit, and I am doing what's there's if you Google junk journaling, you'll find that there's a whole bunch of people out there who do that, and ephemera. You take little pieces of ephemera, which are just bits of paper and old tags and antique looking things and stuff, so it's collaging is basically what it is, and there's
I
no wrong way to
believe
do it.
our generation called it scrapbooking.
Scrapbooking. Well, I I'm not necessarily scrapbooking personal
I mean,
memories
it's
by any
not
means.
quite scrapbooking. Junk journaling and scrapbooking are quite different if you get deeper
Well,
into the science.
it's okay. Scrapbooking, my definition of scrapbooking is taking personal memories and incorporating it into collage and stuff like I'm not doing that. I'm just
Okay,
creating little
so
pieces of art on the
in a
page.
in a speed game, there are still turns,
I
but they go
I
very fast.
think you're
But in a
making
real-time
I think you're
game,
making
everyone
I
is
think you're
doing
making
the
no.
same turn at the same time.
Uh,
So anyway,
well,
what
anyway,
do you what do you do
I'm
what have you
doing
what have
I'm
you done that
doing
is
this.
creative this week? And show it to me.
I don't have it with me to show you. I will have to send a picture of you. I don't have it with me. So, no. This is my private scrapbook junk journal. No, James, you can't see it. No.
I think our listeners and viewers would love to see a photo of it. Please put it in the Dropbox along with the video portion of this program.
All right, I'll do that. Then it's just the regular stuff for me. It's just work, and, we've got the Memorial Day holiday is coming up. So, on this coming Friday, friends of mine and I are excited to be getting together, and we're doing a dress like a dad themed barbecue. So I've already got my outfit all set up. I'm gonna be sports dad. I've got my Red Wings jersey, I got my fake mustache, I got my New Balance shoes, my black socks, my khaki shorts, my Red Wings hat, my foam finger. So I'm ready. I'm ready. Dress like a sports dad.
Here
I'm
in my
excited.
basement, it's dressed like a dad day every day.
Every day. Thank you so much for joining us today. I certainly appreciate it. And as always, you can smash that like button and subscribe and get updates when we post new shows. Social distancing, please. Masks, wash your hands, take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, be kind to your family, friends, neighborhood, and community. We are all going through it. Once again, to our Dirty Dozens, thank you so much for joining us. And any new listeners, welcome aboard. My name is Kelly Wright.
And I'm James Ernest, and we're here all week.
They also do steaks.